This conference will now be recorded.
Perfect. Everybody can hear me? Just mic test 1, 2, 3. Mic test.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we
Awesome.
can hear you.
Thank you.
Yes, we can hear.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. And welcome for joining us on our third meetup that we've done. This is a weekly thing now. We decided to do it during the month of April, and if we get enough success and good feedback, we're planning to actually continue doing it on a weekly basis. I do see with us right now around 15 people joining. So welcome everyone, and thank you for making some time during your busy week in quarantine to attend this meeting. I will go ahead and share my screen as well. Usually the GoToMeeting has a little bit of a download situation that needs to happen. So apologies if you guys had to go through that, but it's essential, unfortunately. All right. How's my screen, guys? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So welcome everyone again. My name is Richard. This is our weekly meetup. We are doing this as an initiative to support any company or any agency that are doing marketing to share the latest that we are seeing on the market when it comes to being creative, marketing better, and staying alive. It's a tough time for everybody. A lot of companies have pivoted from the traditional day-to-day marketing to be more online and more effective. So with that in mind, because we work with thousands of companies, we know exactly what works and what doesn't, at least within our niche market. So we thought we'd do this on a weekly basis to share with you what we've learned and the things that we know could be of value. To tell you a little bit more about our community as a background, this is actually a combination of different meetups in New York City and around the world. We have around 15,000 members combined. And we normally meet on a monthly basis, but now we moved it to weekly, as I had just mentioned. And it's a great community. Everything we do is centered around marketing initiatives, the latest trend, marketing tech, how to drive leads, and how to grow as a business, primarily digital marketing. Okay, so that's the primary core of the meetup. Our community has been around 8 years in the making, so it's not a new community. And I do personally, I've built this from scratch, and I'm very passionate about meetups and online communities, primarily because I learn a lot from you guys. Everybody that comes in, everybody that joins our event in New York City, physical or virtual, brings so much value and so much knowledge that it just amazes me how much I walk away after every meeting, learning new things and meeting amazing people. So really happy about what we've built. And I use this as a channel for me as a personal development, as a contribution back to the community. It's a great platform for everybody who is looking to kind of spread the word. And would love to see you guys more often on a weekly basis, or whenever you can, of course, so we can stay in touch and share the latest on in the marketing tech space. To give you a bit of background about myself as well, my day-to-day activity is actually, or my day-to-day job is running my marketing tech company. We have a company called Vbout, and Vbout is a marketing stack. To be more specific or put things in perspective, generally speaking, my team build all our landing pages on our product Vbout, and usually agencies do the same. So this is an example of a landing page. You can customize it, build it on our platform. We launch these pages at scale from, with ad campaigns to our network. People fill out the forms and we get them inside our database. So this is where we get all our leads in one centralized place, including the lifetime of the lead. So everything from the first touch point, geolocation, email communication, page visits, you think about it, most likely we track it, about 80 to 90% of the touch points. Once they are in our database, we have our own visual drag and drop automation builder. So you can kind of design what happens after they signed up, they get an email, they get an SMS, they do browser push notification. So you can really craft a beautiful follow-up sequence of events. So this is really our core. And on top of that, my team manage everything through our platform on our social ecosystem. So our comments, our reviews, our posts are also managed through the platform. Finally, this is our pipeline manager. We use it for CRM, we use it for internal management, etc. And then the teams can arrange all their activity on those pipelines. So to summarize, VBout is a marketing stack. Companies and digital agencies, they love our platform because we help them run their lead gen, nurture, and lead capture retention campaigns on VBout. So this is the core company that I actually manage. All right, to walk you through the agenda, we're gonna do about 15 minutes of intros. Last week went a little bit over, so I'm trying to be very concise today. We're gonna go around all the attendees. Tell me in 10 seconds your name and your company name, so everybody can learn who you are. And also, please put your LinkedIn in the chat. This is an amazing channel for us to connect with one another. So if you have your LinkedIn profile link, you can play it in the chat, and everybody else will connect. So that's a good way to kind of stay in touch. So we're gonna go around each person. I'll be calling you guys. Tell me your name, your company, and let's keep it under 10 seconds so everybody can actually get a turn. Then we'll do the roundtable discussion and the presentation that I've put together, and finally we can end it with the Q&A. So if you don't mind, we can get started. Tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, and yeah, just keep it under 10 seconds if possible. I would love to start with Lily Greeno. Lily, are you with us? And by the way, guys, you are muted, so to click that little unmute icon so we can hear you. All right, I think Lily might have some issues with the connection, so let's move to Al. Al, you with us? Hey, Al, I see you unmuted yourself. And I just called you off guard. You just tell us who you are, your company, and just introduce yourself to the community. Okay, Al's a little bit shy. We'll come back to you, Al. All right, let's go to Andreas. Hey, Andreas.
Hello there. How's it going, everyone? So yes,
Good,
name's
welcome.
Andreas. I am a digital marketer that specializes in paid advertising, along with actually compiling a marketing strategy through using a variety of market research tools. But I also do a million other things. So if they come up, I'll be sure to mention them. And looking forward to meeting the rest of you.
Awesome, thank you. Andreas is an amazing resource, guys. He's very active in the marketing community and a great connector. So I highly recommend you guys connect with Andreas. Welcome. All right, we'll go to the down under to Dan Wick from Australia, waking up very early to be on this call. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Good, good. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. So my name's Dan. I work down here in Australia, and we work in helping agencies and businesses get going on the VBout platform.
Welcome, Dan. Thank you. Okay, we got George. Hey, George is also from the VBout team. Welcome.
Hello, guys.
Hey, George.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. So this is George from VBout, marketing manager at VBout. I'm really happy to be attending this session. This is the third online session, as Richard mentioned. And this is really a great opportunity to meet you, because I know we have, if the crisis COVID-19 might have some advantages, which is meeting new faces online, and also really happy to introduce to us yourselves, as well as how your businesses have been impacted during this situation. So I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you, George. Hadba?
Welcome.
Hadba, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So I'm Hadba from Vibat, Mission Operation Manager. And actually, I'm enjoying every week to listen to you guys and listen to your experiences. So thank you for this, and thank
Hadba, you again cut off. So thanks again, Hadba and George, for helping us kind of orchestrate this. It takes a lot of effort, guys, to get the events organized, the content together, host these and the invites and all that stuff. So I want to thank my team for being very proactive on this and making it happen. So I really appreciate that, George
Sure.
and Hadba. All right, we have
Thank you,
Huri Ramo. Can you hear us?
Yes, I didn't know I was gonna have to introduce myself. Good to see your face, Richard. This is kind of my first full presentation I'm attending. I just started my company advising startups and helping out sometimes with their operations. I have a strong background in management consulting from Big Fours and other large clients and companies, and I'm leveraging my broad skills to focus more on startups as well. So I'm very curious about VBOT, want to learn all I can. I'm getting more and more into digital marketing. I have a background in analytics also, so love to get connected with the group. Thanks for having me, Richard.
Pleasure, Huri. Thank you so much for coming on board. We have Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Can you hear us?
Hey, hi.
Hey. Yeah, so
Okay,
we're just doing quick introductions.
yes. Okay. So obviously, I'm Jennifer, and I'm from Marketing. I'm a business coach, and I'm pretty much new to this sales and business thing because I'm a lab scientist. But I'm glad that I'm learning something new. This is exciting. I mean, it never hurts to try something different. So yeah.
All right, welcome. We have Jose Antonio. Hey, Jose.
Hi, Richard. This is Jose Antonio. I'm a certified digital marketer. I run a small agency in Chile, and I'm also an MBA teacher, and I give a lot of mentoring to new entrepreneurs.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us from Chile. Okay, we got Mario. Hey, Mario.
Here I am. Hi, everybody. Mario from New York, marketing for a small business called Mato, a chain of coffee shops, and mostly lurking around and trying to figure out what's next.
Got it. Welcome, Mario. All right, we got Maya. Hey, Maya.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maya. I do some part-time work for VBOUT, and I'm looking at launching a sustainable toiletries business. So lots to keep me busy, lots of learning, lots of courses, and really interested to hear how the current kind of climate is affecting everyone's business and interesting ideas people have got to get around it.
Awesome. Thanks, Maya. Yeah, Maya's working really hard on kind of getting our course together. We are working on a lead generation course. We've gathered about 18 modules, I believe, so far on how to generate leads, how to nurture leads, all different funnels and techniques, and learning marketing automation so you can scale your lead generation tactics. So really excited about this course, which we are brewing. If you guys are interested, I would love to kind of give you first access once we launch it. We've been working on this for what, Maya, about a year? Almost a year now, I think. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. We have Pedro.
So 7 months
Hey,
to
Pedro.
year, it feels like. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it is. All right, we got Pedro. Pedro with us?
Yes. Hi guys, my name is Pedro Acosta. I'm the founder of my company is called True Bounds. It's a platform that enables families to be able to make funeral arrangements online. And I'm currently trying to discover, I guess, new marketing strategies that I could use for my company. I've been testing some things out, but I definitely would love to hear what you guys have to say and learn from take any advice you guys have to offer.
Got it. Okay, Pedro. Yeah, you can leverage the Q&A. I have some cool stuff to share today, but you can also leverage the Q&A at the end. You can ask anything you want, okay? Thank you for joining us. All right, so we have PK. I'm not sure. I don't have a name. PK. PK. Okay, we can move to Raquel Miller. Hey, Raquel.
Hey, Richard, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi. Good, good. I just wanted to, well, first of all, I'm Raquel. I'm the founder of Bunchful. We are a gift services platform, and we focus on B2B businesses who want to give gifts to their clients, to their employees, or even their referral partners. We have that's our platform, so we're called Bunchful. And I am on hold I've been on this long hold for like 2 hours now, and the person just picked up and they put me on hold to another department. So if you see me flash off camera, that's just me taking the call.
No worries. Thank you for joining us.
Sure.
All right, we got Robert Katz. Hey, Robert. Can you hear us, Robert? Okay. All right, we got Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Rich. Hey, everybody. I'm one of the success managers that works with the Vivo team. I help with the sales scripting and kind of sales rollout of how things look for the company and help with new acquisition and growing the business.
Perfect. Thanks for coming in, Ryan. And I have T. McPherson. Hey, T. Sorry, I think Tom, or what's the full name?
Hi, my name is Tanya McPherson.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. I'm not with a company right now, but I am working on a couple of projects in the art and business space.
Okay.
I've actually returned to school. I'm studying digital media and marketing. So I'm here to learn and network.
Okay, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so we got Yadira Gomez. Hey, Yadira. From the Caribbean, actually.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hola a los. Habla hispana. Well, my name is Yadira. I'm from the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean. I'm co-founder of an agency, WCI Create. We are a consultant digital marketing agency, and we use Vibout for our clients. And I'm here to learn more about the platform. Thank you.
Perfect. Welcome, Yadira. We got, I think we missed a couple of people. Al Sharif, are you with us?
Yeah, I think I got it right this time. How's that? Can you hear
Pardon me?
me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Al Sharif, my company is Cronin Cards. We have been selling primarily on Amazon, and I'm somewhat on our own website. And we are currently looking at making kind of converting to more to digital type cards.
Awesome. Thank you. Also, we've met a few times in previous events, so thanks for keep on coming back. And
this is a good group.
Robert.
This is a good group. I enjoy it.
Thank you. Happy to provide value here. We got Robert Katz. Hey, Robert, I know you had to relog in, I think. Okay, some of you might be experiencing difficulties. All right, if you log back in, then we'll take your intro. Perfect. We are right on time, so I want to jump into our roundtable discussion. We've got together some cool stuff. First, I just want to run you by some numbers, cool stats I've gotten from a couple of the articles online. I think I got it from Neil Patel. I will also discuss how a few brands, 3 brands to be specific, are using social media for their own, messaging and setting up a new tone. And 3 great to drive growth. These are 3 ways you can actually use or sell for your clients, whatever it is that you're doing with an agency or not. So you can literally start launching something and making money right away. Of course, there's always have to be value on the other side. And then I'm going to share with you a winning paid ad funnel that we've seen implement for ourselves, as well as for dozens of clients. They really love this format. And then we'll get to the Q&A session where I can take any questions. Okay. Now, as you guys know, some of you have been onto these events. I keep this as an open discussion within, of course, a specific time. So if you have any questions you want to interject as I'm going, please feel free to do so. Okay. You can write it in the chat, and George will relay that question to me. Okay. Now, I always think it's healthy to look at some of the numbers. So the first slide or the first chart that you're looking at are actually some of the growth or the traffic that the industries are seeing across the different segments. So for instance, if you look at advertising, primarily, the digital spends, this has been going down. This is all traffic and growth around topics online. Anything food related, healthcare and insurance, these are obviously off the chart. Manufacturing and media traffic, actually insurance and manufacturing has gone down, I apologize. These are a little tricky here. Let me grab a pen. So this is the healthcare, this is the insurance, manufacturing, and media. Media is just exploding everywhere. Pharma is up, especially now. I think the past 2 weeks has witnessed a lot of growth. Going down all the way down to travel, which is the most impacted outlet. Okay, if you don't mind just muting your mic, that would be awesome. Sometimes we get that big feedback. Okay. So these are some of the traffic trends that we've seen now under the current situation, and this has shifted dramatically from what it was before. So a lot of content is getting built around this area right here, and these 2 areas right here, right? This is to drive more traffic. I'm wondering if any of you guys have developed any content pertaining to these particular segments. To be more specific, the finance, food, and healthcare, or in media and pharmacy. Anybody here is developing content and seeing some good results in those areas?
Yeah, so as far as food goes, I work in the food industry, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with, and we've been building a bit of like basically a content stack around it. We've gotten a good response from people that we're working on it with. But in addition to that, I'm also working with a data scientist who's created this sort of page for helping people with what's going on currently. And a big part of her content has been related to food. And that's definitely been like one of her winners. So it definitely kind of correlates with what you're showing us.
And you're driving traffic and you're getting good SEO feedback on this, like people are consuming that content, right?
Yes. Now her site's relatively new, so it's the beginning stages of really getting that traction. But out of all the content that she's creating for that page, food and healthcare, which are definitely big focuses of the page, are doing quite well. And I think it was a great idea that she came up with.
Awesome. Andres, if you can share with us, if you have access to that, maybe a link or two, so anybody here can actually look at the type of content you've written. Maybe it's model they could actually follow. That'll be awesome.
Sure. Let me go grab it real quick.
Cool. And this slide just shows you how the growth is in pertaining with the conversion wise, because consuming content is one thing, but conversion is a completely different story. So by looking at this, obviously food, everybody's consuming more food now. There's nothing else to do really. Healthcare has gone up. I guess just people kind of reassessing the life insurance and all that stuff. Actually the healthcare itself, I apologize. And then you have the insurance is slightly down on that traffic. Manufacturing is completely down in max. Media's up when it comes to conversion, and pharma. Now, there's a good kind of indication here based on our previous events that we've done, is that we know in the media space, a lot of the stuff is, long-term conversion, soft activation now, selling later, which is why you're seeing a drop in most of these industries across the board. People are buying less, but there's still some for us to drive some traffic. Right, so traffic is still there. We can get more traffic. The conversion might not be as expected unless you are in those two industries, but it can be good channel for long-term conversions. So these are the two charts. Wondering if anybody has questions or have any feedback they want to add to that. Cool. All right, so I'll continue. So there are two charts. The next thing I wanted just to kind of, we found a couple of, or actually three different brands that did a good job in their messaging. So Facebook or Google being one of them, they're taking that informative tone, so they're getting all these infographics and stuff on, recognizing or guiding people. Like this is a great example of how to wash your hands. Obviously, hopefully by now everybody knows how to wash their hands, which is shocking to me. Or for how Google is talking about just taking that approach of being cautious, being healthy, informative, which is what Google is anyways, right? You have KFC is another great example here. They're just educating people about their walkthrough and how kind of they're taking their approach on being clean and healthy, not healthy but maybe clean. So they're using these in their posts on Instagram. These are primarily Instagram. And then you have Starbucks, just focusing more on the end consumer, the worker, the actual people in the field, and just kind of showing appreciation. These are three examples that we found that thought was sharing. Anybody have seen anything worthy sharing from other brands as well?
I think didn't Walmart have something kind of like the Starbucks one, where they had a whole campaign thanking their employees and like with photos of them in action, where you actually see them in front of empty shelves, trying to like bring product on.
I think they did something similar. Yeah, I've seen a post this way. So it seems like a trend, right? Everybody's trying to focus on the field workers to drive empathy, which is,
I saw a Walmart one. It looked like a WWW wrestling where the Walmart employees were jumping in and breaking out fights and stuff over toilet paper. No, I'm just joking.
Well, that's a good funny approach to it, but yeah, I've seen a couple of these firsthand actually. All right, so as you can tell, every brand is modifying their tone to kind of just project themselves as whether the helpful Google image or whether the the appreciative, the consumer first field worker, or whether it is sanitation if you're the KFC in that particular example. All right, so the second part here I wanted to dive into are three great channels that I actually found that could help you think outside the box, perhaps, whether for yourselves or for your clients. And they are actually very easy to get started with. The first one, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have you gone or used the Airbnb online experiences? Anybody?
I haven't
If you
used
haven't,
it, but I certainly have looked at some of their offerings, which which interests me. So I've wanted to delve into it a little bit more.
yeah, and it's actually pretty interesting how they pivoted pretty quickly. I don't know if you guys have used their experiences before, but if you travel and you just want to get, let's say, a food tour of the city or wherever you are, you just buy these experiences. Pretty convenient, right? Or you book with them and then you buy the experience with them. Now they did this online, and you can literally just apply and have a solid product, right? They're not going to accept anyone. Maybe a little bit of a decent production, which if you guys are wondering how to get decent production going, it takes two things: your video camera, which can be your phone. Everybody has an amazing camera now. And most importantly, an audio, a good audio, and a stand. So an investment of about $150 to $100, you can literally set up with your own kind of mini studio at home. And you can see there's all sorts of experiences here, or people selling the experiences. This one, for instance, is a virtual visit to an animal sanctuary. This one is an astrology workshop, $51 a person for 1 hour, which is insane. Cooking with a Moroccan family, a pretty interesting kind of approach. $16 a person, an hour and a half courses. And you have also other stuff as well, like workouts and concerts for learning music. So it's pretty interesting, right? How people are kind of thinking outside the box. But I think the primary reason what I think Airbnb is good is because they put a lot of effort in marketing, and they could drive traffic to your courses or whatever the event you're hosting. What do you guys think? I'm wondering if you guys think this is a good channel for you or for your clients.
I am obsessed with this. This actually may be the answer to like something I've been trying to do and I wasn't sure how to go about it. And this might literally be it. So I'm like super psyched right now. Thank you so much for sharing. Do you happen to know, how long it takes to be accepted by Airbnb as an online experience? And then B, is it still geography specific, or does it go all over the US now? Or even the world, or do you set that? Yeah. And then 3, what the reach is. Do we already have some numbers as to how many people are looking at those things, and what's the conversion rate?
Right. So I usually look at the, like these you're looking at right now. They have an average about 8 stars each, and that usually represents about 10% of people leaving. So I would assume every one of these sold at least 100 units or whatever they're offering at this particular stage where I took the snapshot. This one right here, $6, and obviously it's $6 a person, so it's pretty affordable. Now you can go anywhere around the world. I don't know when the search is happening. However, I think they keep it geography based, but you can easily kind of swap your search geography. So I'm not 100% sure on that one. Third, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get approval, but I think now they're speeding this process more. Especially now, it's still relatively early, right? So if you apply now, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna get in faster than those who apply later when they have a lot more application. I think once you apply, and they have good resources on the website, I put in the link there. Once you go there, you find some good ways to kind of have the proper content, have a solid idea for what the class and the value is, and fill out the application. I don't think it takes a lot of time. Now, if this astrology class, $51, got at least 9 people to rate and purchase, I think anybody can sell something online, but the content makes a difference.
Do you know if you can do a class? Like, can you do something that repeats like twice a week for 2 weeks, or it has to be a one-time experience?
I think they're keeping it in the essence of, it's not pre-recorded. It has to be live. So people are joining and they're attending. Again, I haven't really done it myself. I just did a little bit of research on this, but I think it has to be online. It has to be live. You have to interact with the person just like you would do in real life, taking like the city tour or the food tour or whatever.
Well, this is amazing. Like, I can't thank you enough for this. Like, that's awesome.
Oh, pleasure. Pleasure.
And how long has Airbnb been doing this?
I think this might be a couple of weeks, like where they realized, you know, we're gonna get hit pretty bad. So they pivoted a lot of the stuff and they launched it, at least following my kind of inbox and all the in-app notifications I got from them.
I thought it's
It's
been
relatively new.
longer actually. And I saw it when I would go and book something on Airbnb and I would see associated experiences, like localized experiences. Like if you're going to Paris, you know, here are the little things and, you know, food, restaurant pop-ups and shopping experiences, this and that you can do in Paris, for instance. I
But
think
these are physical, right?
for a little while.
Sorry, you got cut off. It's a physical experience though, right? Like you would book it.
Those were live, as far as I know, back then.
Got cut off, or maybe it's me.
That's all right.
As far as I know, you know, obviously the experiences has been there for a couple of years. I've used it heavily. The online experience, from my knowledge, is a recent addition to their offering, because now they're competing against some other, you know, like the Udemy's of the world or other course events, but obviously they have a completely different target. But as far as online is relatively new. Offline has been there for quite some time.
So we're thinking the target, since you're comparing to Udemy, is probably very much beginners, like people who want to do this as a hobby. We're not looking at people who, like, okay, so that's very helpful.
Yeah. The other one is you're going to learn something. This is you want to have fun, right? You still want to go out, but you can't. So you might go and join one of these events, which I don't think you're gonna find a workshop in astrology on Udemy. But I mean, again, maybe I'm wrong. Somebody can perhaps do a quick search on this. And I think the aspect of this being live makes it different than just being hosted somewhere and pre-recorded.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the musicians industry, so this is perfect.
Awesome. Well, maybe the next experience or the next thing I'm going to share is pretty cool. This is actually an amazing channel. And this is not, I'm not sure when was this launched, but Vimeo has an on-demand video product. So if you have a pre-recorded, let's say an hour video teaching, or maybe it could be your own sequel, it could be your own show, you can literally just go to Vimeo and you can create your own account, upload your content, and you can sell it just like you can buy a video on YouTube, right? So if you buy like a movie or something, some of the power, you know, tools that they have is the split is pretty decent. So you keep 90% of the revenue. You can actually rent your video for a certain amount, let's say 3-4 days, or you can have a lifetime buying, or you can have a membership. So people can actually buy a monthly access to your videos if you're continuously pumping content. There's flexible packaging and pricing, and it syncs pretty nicely with like your mobile and your Roku and devices. So because Vimeo is pretty strong on these platforms, you can literally just become your own superstar and sell your product. So this is another channel I thought worth mentioning to you guys.
Wow, this is amazing stuff. Actually, this is awesome. Thank you for sourcing that info. It's amazing.
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is actually pretty cheap to get started. 20 bucks a month. And once you launch, then it's a 10% for them, and the rest is yours. And a lot of people are doing it. Comedians are doing it. You know, you think about people who have online or courses or workshops. They used to do it physical. Now they moved it online. And they could diversify where they're selling. So they might be selling it on Vimeo. They might be selling on Udemy. Maybe they're selling it as well on Airbnb. And I think the key is just to tap into all these different channels, existing traffic. So Vimeo has a lot of traffic already. Airbnb has an amazing traffic already, and so is Udemy. So you're tapping into their own search in order for you to create your own content and get that traffic in, you know? So worth mentioning. Anybody has any addition to this? Questions?
I mean, I guess the question is, can it also be audio?
I came into this at the end, but I'm not sure if you mentioned, like, if it doesn't already have it built in, you can actually build in an install for Wistia to also track how much content they've consumed based on the video that you've uploaded, right?
I think Vimeo has a lot of tracking on this. You know, what's the consumption of the video? I'm pretty sure they have like a suite of analytics on top of it. And you can sell 360
Awesome.
videos, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Right on. Thanks, Rich.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no problem. I think somebody was saying something.
It was me. I was asking if it can also be audio or it really is just videos.
I believe it's primarily video, which is the experience. There's other channels where you can sell podcasts, right? So if that's your thing, podcast, just audio. And I don't know if anybody can share any channels. You can literally just sell your own podcast on some of these channels. I might have one here. Transistor.fm, one good resource. And there's a whole bunch. If anyone can think of something, please drop it in the chat, of course.
Thank you.
Transistor.fm. Yeah, sure. Transistor.fm. All right. Cool. Anybody would like to add anything to this? And I've included the links, by the way. So we'll share this presentation with you, and the links will be there. All right. Now, the third resource, Snapchat ads. Have anybody of you tried Snapchat ads? If you haven't, there's $100 in credit. So if you decided to launch your course and you want to drive some traffic to it, and you want to be very specific or geo-targeted, they're actually offering $100 in credit. This is through Neil Patel. You might find some additional credits online, but they're throwing all kinds of incentives for you to get started. And it's actually super easy. I put some snapshots here. Once you claim your credit, you literally log into your panel, you create an ad. If you want it to be a website visit or app install, let's just do website visit so you can drive traffic to a VBOT built landing page, right? Where you're talking about your course or maybe directly to the course. And this is literally all you need to select, like what is the brand name, your image, just a little bit of the template of your ad. And finally, your targeting, who you're targeting, your demographics, your geolocation. And because, as you guys know, Snapchat is pretty specific on like where you can target, you can drill down by zip code, or even, this guy was targeting hospitals, areas where there are hospitals. So he was getting really specific on where he was serving his Snapchat ads. So again, it is free. It's $100. I highly recommend you guys going and burning $100 for testing. And I think Snapshot, I'm sorry, I put Snapshot here. It's still relatively cheap compared to the other products out there when it comes to the click. So nothing to lose there.
What kind of demographics are on Snapchat? Like, for some reason, I think of it as quite young, but.
How young is young, depending on how
like
old?
20s, like 15 to 28.
You'd find anybody between the 20s and obviously 15, but 35, 40. I have a lot of friends in the 40s. They're using Snapchat, but I would say 20 to 35 is a good kind of range. And don't forget, these are the people who are going to be making decisions soon. So I just thought it's a good way to testing this channel. Maybe it's a good result or good channel for you. Maybe it's not, but it's $100 for free. Go ahead and claim it.
Does it work like Facebook? We can put as much content on the ad as we want. Can we do videos? Is it very much like Facebook, or is it different altogether?
You can add your own creative, and I believe you can upload your own video. There's always this thing about the ratio between the text and the thing. It's not going to be as strict as Facebook, that I can tell you. Facebook is super strict, but if you have a video that you literally just recorded it and it doesn't have a lot of captions on top, I think that it'll be just fine.
Amazing.
It reminds me similar to Instagram, kind of, when you're posting videos and you can have those stories, and you can just watch the story of what you created. I've got Snapchat myself too and use it quite a bit. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, awesome. And obviously all these channels are offering credits. It's just because I think, what is it, $43 billion is going to be lost advertising spend between different channels. So you can see how these, the Facebook ads and Google are really, they're going to be okay, but this is a big chunk of their profits. So they're throwing all kinds of credits, all kinds of aids. I think you guys can go and leverage those credits to just create ads here and there, drive traffic to a pre-launch, perhaps to one of your ads or one of your pre-launch courses or whatever content. Have people pre-sign up for it, and then when you launch it, you have a database of people who are ready to kind of consume it or buy it. So that's just an idea. All right, anybody wants to add to this? Perfect. All right, good on timing here. Now, Kiana, to segue or to continue on what we've done, I want to share with you a paid ad funnel. Everybody hears about funnels and how you can build it, but I think the core of a funnel is to drive people to do something at the end, right? So the end result could be buying your course, it could be consuming your content, or perhaps booking you for a consultation, signing up to your product. So there's a path to get there. And if you chose the paid ad channel, this is actually one very solid funnel that you can create. So let me walk you through how this works. Usually it always starts with your traffic source. So your traffic sources could be your Snapchat paid ad, your Google paid ad, your AdWords, LinkedIn paid ad. So all these different options for you is a place for you to drive or get that initial traffic. Now, the second they click on that ad, they should be redirected somewhere. And this is where you direct them to your, page where you have a 1-minute teaser. It's you speaking about what you're offering, your presentation, whatever it may be, and a form for people to actually fill it out and get access to that thing, whether it is, a free 20-minute version of your presentation, and maybe one access to one of your free sessions, whatever. And you drop in a retargeting pixel. This is a really important part of it, is any traffic you're getting from these paid ads to your website, you want to be able to retarget them later, because retargeting is cheaper than getting them the first click. Now, once they fill out the form, we can send them to the follow-up page where you actually have that video that they're consuming. Okay, it could be, the first a 30-minute presentation on, I don't know, how to buy or how to shop your food, or maybe a 30-minute presentation on what things you should apply from the government aid and how to find these applications and properly vet them. So it could be whatever it is your expertise here. Now on VBOT, we do offer something called browser push. So what we let you do is on that page, we actually show them a prompt that says, hey, can we communicate with you via your browser? Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because a browser push is an amazing under-tap technology that you can get people to opt in for without the need necessarily to provide identifiable data like email or phone number. It is important because there's no compliance, so you can send messages, unlike email. There's actually the opportunity for you to reach them even if they don't open an email, so it communicates with the browser on the bottom, regardless where they're logged into. Amazing technology, it doesn't hurt. It's a very basic prompt that shows up on that page. Now, if you're a B2B and you have some sort of a calendar or maybe a schedule for your upcoming events, after they finish consuming that piece of content, you can redirect them to the page where they could actually make buying decisions. And the rationale behind this is that once they've seen you speak, they learn something from you. Most of the time, people trust you a little bit more to give you money in return for your service. And that's really what you're trying to do with this particular funnel, is that you drive them to an offer, they're skeptical, they fill it out, they get some amazing content, and now you can give them incentives to take the next step, which is buying, booking calendar invite, maybe pre-buying your course, whatever it may be. Now, here's where additional things keep on happening, right? Like you can start emailing them a thank you. You can do if they don't book anything with you, they don't make a purchase. So this particular icon here is really based on a condition. You would send them to, follow-up email with a case study. You can even give them a phone call follow-up if that's within your capacity to say, hey, thank you for downloading our content. I just want to get your feedback. Is there anything else we can do? This is really depending on your capacity, of course. Now, some companies, they go a little bit beyond. And anybody that actually consume this content, they can push them into their own retargeting that serves them back to this buy page or the calendar booking. Okay. Now, from there is really where your magic can add people to the CRM. If they booked on your calendar, you can actually just send them a reminder that you have an upcoming event coming. You have the consultation due for that day. And then on that page is where really a lot of the, I would say, easier conversations can happen. Why are you here? How can we help? And I know, Ryan, you're amazing in consultative selling here, but it's a lot easier to have a conversation at this particular stage after they've consumed your emails, they consumed your amazing content here, to be able to establish rapport and sell them on something. So quick inventory here for this. Sorry if you can't see the whole screen. Is this cut off on the bottom, by the way, guys?
No.
No, you're good, Rich. I can see it.
Calendar booking is the last thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so technically the inventory involved in this, guys, is having your 1-minute presentation, and obviously your full-on 30 minutes, whether you speaking, whether it is a PowerPoint you can assemble. You need 3 landing pages on VBout. If you're using VBout, and I highly recommend you do. You need your retargeting active on any of these channels, and I think on Snapchat we've seen something in retargeting. Facebook can do retargeting, obviously, and AdWords. Amazing stuff. I think all of them do, right, Brooks? They offer retargeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah.
And the ability to create the ads. And then you need VBout email tool and a nurture tool that I showed you guys in the beginning. So you can craft like all these sequences of follow-ups. You can craft the nurture campaign that comes in after. So this is like a quick inventory that you guys can kind of assess and take before you build this funnel, which will literally, drive a lot of proven results if you've implemented effectively with your clients.
Yeah, Rich, this
so
actually, as you know, this is almost identical to our funnel, and there's a lot of people on this call actually came from seeing our ads on the Insta and Facebook channel as well with this exact funnel.
Yeah, it's perfect. I know, logically speaking, we think about what we're gonna do, but a lot of people stop here. It's like they get the stage, and not the fault of their own, is just because they haven't done it good enough. They stop right here, right? And this is where it ends. But actually, a lot of the conversions happen with all the other stuff that, doing that outbound call to try to get them to book a calendar. How many times we've salvaged someone who consumed our content and never booked? It happens often, right? A lead, I'm sorry. Or offering some follow-up emails, or perhaps just our retargeting ad again somewhere else. So this part, which a lot of people don't think about, is where the magic happens. And I think just knowing that you have the capacity to implement this, let's say in VBout, is really what I'm trying to get to.
And I think the most important thing to highlight too, and I know that Brooks would agree on this, is wherever you're writing your content, whether it's through your landing pages, whether it's through your social media feeds, all the way down to the nurture campaign there, where you have the follow-up campaign where the emails are following who aren't opting on or booking on your calendars, make sure that you're speaking to a broken bone pain that they're dealing with, align to that, but make sure that you're also coming from a sincere perspective, because that's the way that you're going to gain their trust. Like, even though we're running for VBout paid ads through Facebook and Instagram and etc., and it's working, people are coming, they're booking on the calendar, there's still a large audience that isn't, and we're getting them to, they're actually converting from the email nurture campaign. So there's still a follow-up cadence that's taking place. Never mind one of our SDRs who's being followed by phone to warm opt-in leads, and it works fantastic.
Exactly. And by the way, whatever you can track, is probably multiply that by 5 as far as impact. I've had people come into us and say, oh, I've seen your ad, and it's really cool. And then when I look at the metrics of the ads, it's like, I don't see any engagement with the ad. Why? How did they see it? So there's a lot of, hidden engagement that happens when you implement this symphony here, that you might not be able to quantify it, right? Just putting everything in motion is really what's gonna be ultimately the result. Awesome. I think I'll take a pause here and I'll take any questions. Anybody want to ask questions? Anyone want to share ideas? I'll have, pretty much next 5-10 minutes. We can do that.
Yeah, I got a 5-minute hard stop here, Rich. I got a meeting to go into. Somebody booked a demo with us in 5 minutes. So.
No worries, no worries. Any business here needs some advice. We can maybe try to pitch in and give some feedback. Please feel free.
Hi. So currently, I just started marketing. I started kind of going similar to what you were describing in terms of the ads. I have Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads. I've been seeing some traffic going to my website that way. Recently, I made some flyers and personally went to hospitals, to admitting offices and handed out some flyers. And this morning I did get some clients, my first couple customers. I just recently launched my platform, but it seems
what is your platform?
So my platform allows people to make funeral arrangements online, and with everything that's happening right now with the virus, it's very difficult. The funeral industry is being hit very hard. Families are not being able to have actual traditional services. So everything's just straight burials, straight cremations. And in this industry, it's very difficult to, it's kind of like a word of mouth industry. So usually when people make funeral arrangements, it's like either this through some sort of church affiliation or some sort of family members that pass away and they went to this place, or it's a local business. So I'm trying to market it. I'm trying to get it into the hands of people who are who have a bigger need for it. And so far, I see traffic in terms of the ads, but not necessarily people making arrangements. But just for one day of just handing out some flyers, I got a couple of potential customers. So I'm not entirely sure how to go about everything, but I'm still trying to test out new things and actually try everything I can to get it out there. But I'm not entirely sure how to reach to everyone or to people that are in need of it.
Okay. Now, your persona specifically is anybody who is sick within a specific age group, or what? Or you're not sure of your exact target persona?
Well, I would say, since with everything with the virus, I would say anyone who has a family member that is affected by it. The platform is very is very easy to use. So anyone, it's any age group, I would say. I know some a little bit older age group might have a difficult time using any sort of online platform, but I'm trying to hit local, I would say. So I'm based in New York, so I'm trying to hit the New York market as much as I can, because that's where I have a lot of influence in the funeral industry.
Got it. Okay. Anybody wants to give any feedback for Pedro? Pedro, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I could just make a quick comment there. This is Brooks. I think the key is that we have real clarity on what it is that the audience you're pushing the message to wants as an outcome, and make that part of the copy. And there is a formula for the copy we can help you with. If you want to reach out to me, brooks@bbout.com, I'd be more than happy to lay out the formula that we use for the structure of the written words in the ad portion. But the takeaway is that it's got to be outcome driven, and it has to talk to the existing or big hurdle people are wanting right now, not 2 or 3 steps from now, but like right now.
And I would say too, since you can't have an actual service, that you may want to consider something Richard mentioned before with regard to something virtual, where you are still able to host something and manage and produce something that is more virtual, but maybe there can be an opportunity there, just because a funeral is really just people celebrating the life of the person who's passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the problem what's happening right now is that there's no service at all. The moment someone passes away at a hospital, families are not allowed or able to point out like, hey, this is my family member. So it's up to the funeral home to identify that this is their this is their family member. Once they grab that person, they're immediately sealed in a coffin or a casket, and that's it. So the moment these families are losing someone, the last time they saw her was the last time they saw her, even after they pass away. And right now, there's no hosting services at all, I would say. So the funeral homes are kind of getting hit because a lot of their revenue was based on types of services.
Right.
And even I would say even goes back as crematories are backed up. So you might have a family member that passed away now. He might not, that person might not get he might not go to the crematory, or the whole process might not happen for another couple weeks. Same thing with getting buried. It
How
might
do you
take
help them though? Yeah, how do you help them? Do you actually host like an online
so
thing that?
so what's my platform allows you to choose the funeral home that you would like to go to make services with, to choose the type of services that you want, such as cremations, direct burial, and certain options or whatever. And then that information would immediately be emailed both to the funeral home and to the family members with the documents that is needed for the funeral homes to file in terms of like death certificates and legally be allowed to pick up the remains at a hospital. So from there on, it's up to the funeral home and the family member to, well, the funeral home will get in contact with the family members to finalize everything. But there's really, funeral homes right now are doing everything on the phone. And I've been hearing some instances where they do FaceTime arrangements, but it's just been very hard for family members to reach those funeral homes, I would say. So that's the issue.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you work with the actual deceased, the family of the deceased, to pair them with the proper funeral home that caters for this particular unfortunate event, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so just my 2 cents. I know this can be like a very deep conversation. I think you have a lot of knowledge of what can happen if you have a deceased family member and how people should be prepared, right?
Yes.
You have that information? Okay.
Yes.
Can you compile a solid resource? It could be you speaking, it could be a PowerPoint presentation and you speaking, or it could be just plain PowerPoint, which maybe could be condensed in a way where you can drive traffic to that particular page to educate people about what you should be worried about, in the case that you have a deceased family member, how you should prepare for it, and maybe the five things you should look for when speaking to these funeral homes. So it'll be like a very solid resource to spend your time on, and that will be what I would say your top of the funnel, where you'll just drive people from the ads to consume that content.
Gotcha.
Now that's step one.
Yeah.
Step two, when you drop in the retargeting, because anybody who's going to consume that content is technically going to, they're not going to consume it unless they're worried and there's a potential that they're going to lose a family member, or they already have done so, correct? So my advice maybe is to have another retargeting campaign only for those people who visited that one page that consumed the content, that serves them more targeted ad for the funeral home comparison chart. So instead of having top of the funnel telling them pick your proper funeral home or funeral arrangement, maybe it could be just like what you should look for and educating them about this stuff. So that's one angle. Another angle could be, what does Facebook do when you lose a family member? And you get them to a page where you talk about that, and then you cookie them to serve them another ad about the funeral home. So that's a little tricky though, because it's a shadow redirection of a content that has nothing to do with your service to eventually serve them a retargeting ad that has to do with the service. It's a little bit of, it's on you, but I've seen people do this and they've found some success of having that shadow redirect between people who are worried about, how to shut down their social when a family member's, deceased, to serving them an ad about, those funeral homes. Just some ideas there.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Hey Pedro, I'm in New York, and what I find here and a lot of my friends is that everybody kind of belongs to a specific neighborhood's Facebook group, and those are quite active. So like for me, I'm in Inwood, and there's definitely like an Inwood community group, and it's not in the Heights and it's not the Bronx, it's strictly Inwood. And I think there's a lot of them that have very different kind of people, and you can post like that first article that Richard was recommending on there. And that would be kind of an easy way to get people who are not necessarily already having people there. But in New York, I mean, we're all going to know people who are going to be at the hospital, you know?
Sure. Gotcha. Thank you.
That's a good point. Good
Pedro.
point. Yeah, thanks.
I don't know if it helps. I know in New York City you have a lot of different religions, and you can create content about how each religion do their funerals.
Yeah, so the one thing we do, one of the funeral homes that I do work with deals with mostly Muslim cases. So we've that's one of the things that we've tried to reach out. We do try to reach out to certain well, the funeral homes will try to reach out to certain religions, and that's how they essentially gain their have their clienteles. But definitely the religion and the neighborhoods is something that I'll definitely would like to that I'll definitely try to focus on a little bit more.
Yeah, and Yadira, great feedback here. This is I would probably consume the content just for the sake of learning how different religions are coping with this and how they're doing funeral arrangements. So good idea. You have content you can create for the top of the funnel right now. You can drive people through the process. So yeah, cool. Anybody has any questions?
I mean, I'd love to talk about my business if there's time. I don't know if we're
yeah, if you have a specific question.
Yeah, I do. I have a business where I sell live online classes by Broadway musicians, and I am trying to do the same thing but for actors. And the thing is, I don't know how to get to those actors because I don't have an ad budget. It's me, right? I'm a small business. And so the thing is that they would be taught by Broadway performers, which I think is really amazing right now for like all those high schoolers, college students who, you know, want to make it on Broadway, want to use this time getting better, and what an amazing access to Broadway. And I'm just like, how do I, you know, a lot of Facebook groups that normally I advertise on, everybody has turned on post approval because everyone's trying to use them as advertising. So I'm like, how do I not spend a lot of money and get, you know, conversion and get people interested into those?
That's like Fame but on online version of Fame. It's so cool.
That's fun.
So you're trying to target the actors or the students?
I mean, the students would be student actors, right? So you have like I'm in the industry myself, so I know the industry from within. So a lot of those high schoolers are trying to get ready for their college auditions to get into a really strong musical theater school. So in and of itself, that's like a great target area. The secondary thing is all those college students that are in musical theater school, they don't want to get, you know, take a step back. So for them to have access to more training at a higher level from Broadway people, so that then when they're coming to New York, they can be ready to really hit the ground running once they're back, once they graduate, you know, so maybe this year, next year, or in 2 years, but then they know what to expect and what the level is and all of that.
Right. I mean, I understand and I'm having trouble hearing you. I apologize if it's your audio or mine, but who are you're trying to capture the students right now, or you're trying to capture the actors who would be the instructors?
Oh no, the instructors, that's easy because that's my field, so they're my friends.
Right, okay. You're trying to get to the students.
Correct.
So the students will consume or will buy the content from the instructors. Is that what you're trying to do?
They would buy it from me. So I'm the in-between point. I make my cut there.
Okay, cool. So let's just call it the third-party distribution of the instructors' content to these end consumer. Have you tapped into any database of students from, it could be as simple as doing a LinkedIn search. Do you use LinkedIn Navigator or do you use LinkedIn at all?
No, I've been so focused on Facebook.
Wouldn't necessarily be on LinkedIn, right?
I wouldn't discount LinkedIn at all. LinkedIn is just, you'll find a lot of people. I don't know, students are going to be young, right? They're going to be probably, thinking about the professional life. And most of these schools are teaching how to have a professional profile on your LinkedIn, because every recruiter is going to be looking for your stuff there, while at the same time vetting your resume. I'm just thinking out loud.
I love it. Where would you look on LinkedIn? I don't know that world much.
Yeah, there's obviously their search is pretty much what sets them up. Let me see if I can show you real quick here. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this will be the LinkedIn approach, right? And I have a funnel that I'm putting together for this, where you would actually shortlist your target, and then you would send them messages through LinkedIn once you connect with them to, give them an offer of, hey, we're giving access to our courses. We're getting, 30 students as at no cost. And obviously you have a value that you're offering, right? Your target persona, your scripts for pitching this. And you can possibly, and again, I don't know if LinkedIn is the right channel, I'm just assuming here. But in the LinkedIn Navigator itself, which is, it's a small investment of $70, they have a good advanced search functionality, which perhaps can help you narrow down some of the stuff. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, so
I thought it was 100.
I'm sorry. I think they have different plans, 70 or 80 and then 100. It can be, yeah, unless I'm grandfathered in. So it's up there. But yeah, you can technically look up specific keywords within specific geographies, industries, and we can run a quick search. Give me a keyword, please.
Actors, acting classes.
Let's do actors. Geolocation, you want to do United States?
Midwest,
okay.
Sure. United States is great.
Okay. Industries and
what would you do? Entertainment.
Performing arts.
Okay, that's performing arts. Okay, we'll give it a shot. And obviously you can drill down even more here with like some things like tagging and job opportunities and relationship, but just as a quick search here. All right, so these are the results that are showing up pertaining to me. So these are the Actors Theater Workshop. They have all employees there. Maybe this is not the right. Oh, you know what? I search account results. Let me search lead results. Okay, here we go. Okay, so again, now you're seeing results from real people. Some of them have changed their jobs, and these are the tabs at the top. Some of them were mentioned in the news in the past 30 days. Posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. This one actually is pretty cool, because if you find someone who posted on LinkedIn last 30 days, you can comment on their content to kind of establish like a relationship with them, because everybody sees their notifications on their phone. So with that in mind, I think that could be a good start for lead gen.
So it would be one-on-one a lot.
That's one start. Now, if you're able to tap into a database of emails and names of people, which you can do some cold email outreach, which, I don't want to say spamming, but it's technically within that umbrella, is sending out a cold email outreach with a value, all the unsubscribes on the bottom and everything. By the way, I have an amazing video on this. I can share it with you guys. But then you can send an email and try to get some leads or prospects from there. Because you want to adopt at least 30 people in the beginning to try to use those 30 people base as fan base, build case studies, and then maybe have them go out and talk about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is your spamming campaigns effective for you, Richard? You recommend
Pardon me.
spamming campaigns? Are they effective?
Which campaign? I didn't hear.
Spam campaigns.
Yeah, spam campaign. I don't want to call them. I mean, the word spam is a little bit difficult, right? Because
I detest that. I as a recipient, it never works for me or anything.
But, unless you really need it, then it works, right? So I'll tell you an example. I work a lot. We have a lot of compliance in VBOUT, so it's always top of mind how to make our platform very compliant, CCPA, GDPR, and you have all these rules around the world, right? Spam compliance is one of them. So I'm always looking for a product that's going to be good for us to stay on top of the stuff. But at times I fall behind. I'm very busy. And all of a sudden I got this email from someone who just literally just nailed it and said, hey, Richard, we have this compliance tool. We're going to do an audit of your existing site and we'll tell you if you're compliant or not. Boom, it was an email, right? So he got me at the right time and I opened the email and actually spoke to the person. Now, do I open every single outreach like this? No, but that particular email hit it right on, you know, kind of reached out to me. It's a cold outreach. I expect cold outreach. It's the nature of the game in the United States. If it's not of good value, I delete it. If it's good value, I actually open it and I try to kind of investigate more. So you have to think, you know, getting 5% results from your email outreach, it's not bad at all. Now the key is you're providing the unsubscribe options. You're doing drip campaigns within VBOUT. We have a chunk sending. So instead of sending 10,000 in one shot, you can send 50 emails per hour for 3 hours, pause it, resume next day. So you're not sending a whole bulk. So there are ways to do it, and I can share the video with you guys on that as well. Let me see if I have it right here. Yeah. All right. I know it's a lot, and we are at 6:17 now. Are you guys enjoying the conversation so far?
So helpful.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Okay. Pleasure. All right. I would ideally like to keep it at 6:20, which is 3 more minutes. I'm putting the link for you right now. All right. So this is a 30-minute presentation, guys. I'm actually using it for some top of the funnel testing. Watch it. And if you have any questions, you can ask us. It talks about all the guidelines for email marketing nowadays, 2020. How you can use chunk sending to reach more people and all that cool stuff. So you can watch it and give me your feedback. And follow us on YouTube. We're actually preparing a lot of good content soon. Now, and just a quick other thing here, I would like to just mention, we're doing this every Wednesday for the month of April, and perhaps it's going to extend to May. So this event is going to be next Wednesday, same time, probably same link. We'd love to have you again to bring as much feedback, as much value. We'll be bringing in some more new stuff that we know that they're going to be helpful to you guys. And obviously, a lot of these conversations that we're having now, too short than an hour, we'd love to take offline. You can have a consultation with us. You can share with us over a call. So we're open outside of these events as well. Okay.
That somebody posted
Now,
to you guys' Facebook page, but the link, oh no, it worked. Never mind. Carry on.
Okay. Thank you, Huri, and thanks everyone for actually joining us today. Everybody provided some amazing value. I'll be sharing the presentation with you guys via the meetup, via LinkedIn as well, the LinkedIn event. I will also share this very funny clip on Facebook, which just made me crack up. So if you guys see the link in the chat now, just about a quarantine confessions from an Italian family. I just can't get enough of this this funny clip here. So I just thought I'll end it with that. But all right.
All right.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
This is it. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe for the week. We'll see you hopefully next week at the same time. Okay.
Okay.
Stay safe.
Bye, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you. I'll keep this on. Thank you. I'll keep this on for the next 5 minutes so you guys can grab whatever you want from the chat. There are some good resources there. And then I'll shut down this session. Okay. So thanks, everyone, and see you next week.
Okay, great.